Time for Business. Yuka Roy joins us. The fallout continues from a massive ransomware attack on a US software firm, which happened on Friday. Tell us more.
Well, Mark, it's been dubbed the single biggest global ransomware attack in history. Hundreds of companies have been affected and are still unable to unblock their computers. Among the worst hit is the Swedish supermarket chain Coop. Many of its 800 stores are still shut 3 days after malware took down their cashier systems. Suspected cyber gangs believed to be linked to Russia breached a US software company based in Florida and used its products that's meant to protect against malware to spread the virus widely instead. The alleged perpetrators are now demanding $70 million in ransom paid in Bitcoin. Sweden's defense minister says that the latest attack is another reminder of increasing threats to society. Let's take a listen.
Ja, det de slår till emot i de cyberattacker vi har regelmässigt, det är ju både Försvarsmakten, det är statliga myndigheter, det är andra företag. Så det här drabbar ju samhället över ett oerhört brett spektra. Och det här visar ju också vad som skulle kunna hända i ett skärpt säkerhetspolitiskt läge när en antagonist verkligen vill sabotera ett samhälle. Då kan man genom de här metoderna släcka ner stora delar av samhället. Så det här visar hur skarpt situationen är idag.
China has widened its crackdown on tech companies after banning ride-sharing app Didi. Online recruiting firm Xiping.com and lorry sharing services Kecheban and Yunmanman are now being investigated. Like Didi, the companies that run the services have recently listed on US stock markets. Marius Offers has more on why the Chinese government is stepping up its crackdown on its own tech firms.
More Chinese tech companies are being targeted by Beijing, all of them publicly traded in the United States. The widening of the Chinese government's probe comes after it banned ride-hailing app Didi on Sunday.
觉得那个滴滴如果把我们个人的信息泄露的话，这个事情做实了的话，我觉得国家下架是很应该的，毕竟而且应该处于更加严厉的惩罚措施，因为毕竟这是我们国人的企业，我们国人的企业，然后把我们国人的信息卖给国外的话，这个是肯定在道德法律上面都是不容允许的。
是从哪一方面透露的？然后我也希望，反正政府能。保护我们一些个人隐私，再进行更大的一些的透露。
The two latest companies to be targeted are Full Truck Alliance, a merger between two Chinese truck-hailing platforms, and Kanjun, which owns an online recruitment platform. A far-reaching data security law comes into effect at the start of September. It will require Chinese companies to get approval if they want to transfer data stored in China to overseas institutions, such as law enforcement agencies. Violating the legislation can lead to fines of between 260,000 and 1.3 million euros and could lead to suspensions of business activity. The growing influence of big tech companies is a cause for concern for China's Communist Party, particularly when it comes to monopolistic practices and the handling of user data.
Oil-producing cartel OPEC Plus called off their planned summit aimed at agreeing a new deal on production volumes. Talks were set to resume this afternoon after the group failed to clinch a deal last week amid a bitter spat between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates over how much they could raise output. The UAE has been blocking a plan for an 8-month extension to the ongoing production cuts. The deal would see output increased gradually from next month, in part to help rein in oil prices and calm inflation fears. It's not clear if there will be no output increase in August or whether a new meeting will be scheduled in the coming days to make that possible. And that deepening impasse at OPEC Plus has pushed oil prices even further to their highest levels in about 3 years. Brent crude, as you can see, has risen above the $77 mark. WTI, meanwhile, up 1.6%. French champagne producers are furious after Russia enacted a new law that forces foreign champagne producers to label their bottles as sparkling wine, while Russian producers can continue to call their bubbly wine Champanskoye. Moet Hennessy, the maker of Veuve Clicquot and Dom Perignon, has said it will begin adding the new designation to comply with the new law. But France's Champagne Industry Group has called on its members to stop shipping their bottles to Russia altogether, reminding them that the term champagne, originating from the region Champagne, has legal protection in 120 countries. Here's the head of the group speaking earlier.
elle est dramatique pour les producteurs qui donc perdent le droit légitime à utiliser leur nom. Elle est très préoccupante pour les consommateurs russes qui ne vont plus être en mesure d'apprécier en regardant les étiquettes des vins mousseux la qualité et l'origine des vins qu'ils achètent.
I must say, I've never tasted Russian sparkling wine.
If it's not made in Champagne in France, it's not champagne. It's as simple as that. So I don't know where the Russians are coming from with this one. But anyway, we'd have to get in their heads to find out. Yuka, thank you very much indeed. Yuka there with all the business. Great to see you.